Hello guys, welcome to Sync in English channel. So welcome back. Here we are going to discuss about fourth unit, that is biological basis of behavior. Here previously we talked about unit 8. We discussed about unit 8 and important topics which are concerned when UGC is concerned. So not all topics are important. So within the social psychology, I covered important topics. So 8th unit, as we are done with 8th unit, and let's start with the new unit, that is biological basis of behavior. So within which again we have subdomains or subtopics, and please be aware of the model paper. It will be having 3 hours. 180 minutes, and number of questions asked in paper 1 is 50, paper 2 would be 100, so total you have got 300 marks. So once check this UGC syllabus also. So today we are going to discuss about biological basis of behavior, unit 4. So in this biological basis of behavior, that is unit 4, we have sub topics as well. That is nervous system and sensory pathways would be first we will be discussing, and then we have physiological, physiological psychology, and then we have muscular and glandular systems and biological behavior. So we will be dealing with this subdomains within the unit 4. So let's get started. So first and foremost, what is what actually comes in mind when we talk about behavior is our actions, how we speak, how we interact, etc. But there is a basis for the behavior that is biological in nature. So we will be discussing about central nervous system, types of nervous system, and unit of nervous system, and how that would lay basis for the behavior. So without wasting time, let's see. This is a neuron, and you can see that neuron has different parts here. This is the cell body, cyton, and this is axon, a thread-like structure. Right within the axon, you will be finding microtubule filaments, and we have synapses also. So synapses, you can see here, synapse. So you can see here, so my pointer I am keeping at synapse. Please follow the pointer, that pointer. So synapse contains this neurotransmitters where they will be releasing in the synaptic vesicles, and these vesicles would release at the synaptic gap, and these vesicles which contain neurotransmitters would be interacting with the receptors. So receptors present on the other neuron. So it is like a chain of reaction. So for example, this is one neuron, and there will be other neuron. So there would be connection to both the neurons. So if these connections are failed, or so there won't be any transmission of electric impulse. So we'll talk about this axon in depth also, but let's try to understand the outline. So how exactly this nervous system form? So we have, so when we are in womb, right, we are less than the coin of the size of the coin, penny. But during the development, so in the developmental biology, we will discuss about how these organ systems are formed. First, you need to remember that cells would form tissues, tissues would form organs, organ system, organs combinedly forms an organ system. So organs which has similar function, they will be forming as an organ system, and all different types of organ systems forms human being for that matter. And these organ systems or cells or arise from embryonic layers. For example, here nervous system, if you see neural plate. So as a neural plate, it would form. So this first neural plate would be formed, and this neural plate would be differentiated into neural tube or bulbs, and those would actually form into prosencephalon, mesencephalon, Ramancephalon. So this is primary brain vesicles, and from those primary brain vesicles, the secondary brain vesicles would be coming, that is telencephalon and diencephalon. Mesencephalon, again, it would be differentiated into mesencephalon, but Rhombencephalon would be differentiated into metencephalon or myelencephalon. So this is how nervous system has origined while we are in embryonic stages. For example, single cell stage, that is zygote, would eventually divide to form embryo. So this embryo would actually develop into different organ systems. So this is quite an important thing, especially when this unit is concerned. So remember about ectoderm. So ectoderm is the germ layer. So we used to have 3 germ layers. One is ectoderm, endoderm, and then mesoderm. So these are the 3 embryonic layers from which our all organ systems are origin. Now I'm able to speak how it's possible, because this nervous tissue is connected to my ability to produce the sound, the articulation by the jaw and the mouth parts, and that is given by the brain signals. So our interactions, our perceptions, our biases, everything is the biological basis is this brain. So brain can be divided into several parts. The entire nervous system, if you see, nervous system can be differentiated into peripheral nervous system and central nervous system. Again, this peripheral means that periphery, perimeter, like perimeter. The peripheral nervous system contains somatic nervous system or autonomic nervous system. So this somatic autonomic nervous system is divided into sympathetic or parasympathetic, and somatic nervous system differentiated into cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So if you see that if you think this is an brain, if you think this is a brain, so from this, the origin of nerves would be there. So few are cranial nerves which goes to the cranium, and few are spinal nerves. So within which our bodies, we are able to move, we are able to articulate, etc. Right? And if any pain is there, it is able to receive to the brain and having a proper action. That is comes under central nervous system. So brain and spinal cord. So the spine. So here the UGC questions may be asking in very direct form. So as MA psychology students would be having a background of arts, maybe not the science, or if in +1, +2 you took biology, then definitely this is going to be an interesting chapter for you. So this is how the brain looks like, and there are 2 hemispheres, and you have pons, medulla, brainstem, right side and left hemisphere, and right hemisphere. We have got amygdala, hippocampus, and we have got thalamus, on which the base of the brain, on which the cerebral cortex would be there. So when it comes to spinal nerves, we have cervical, neck region, thoracic, trunk region, lumbar, waist region, and sacral 5, end of the spinal cord, and coaxial 1. So this sacral and coaxial would actually, when we talk about the skeletal system, they would be combining as a caudal vertebra. At that point of origin, the nerves would be origin, and they are connected to different organs in the body. So this is a quite outline of the nervous system. And we will be dealing with each part in a more elaborated way.